culture kitchen, where we go deep. It's just knowledge and a vibe. And I'm excited because I have such a talented Kenyan brother here. Wow, this guy. If you're just checking his work on IG, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And I know there are many folks who've engaged with Lee. He's called Lee Amimo. He's a visual artist. Is that right, bro?
Yeah, that's right.
And I can just say, you know what? It's a blessing to be around a great Kenyan like you, bro.
Humbled.
You're really good at what you do.
Thank you.
So, Lee, of course, your name is Lee Amimo. You're a visual artist.
Yeah.
But just tell us, for real, what inspires you to do all these amazing things?
Okay, so the first inspiration I have is to speak and speak loudly.
Yeah.
The way you can speak loudly and then say very little. So I ride that wave of I have a message that I need to speak, a message that is divine, that transcends a lot of cultural nuances, borders and stuff. So I just want to speak. And I believe like anything that I say, it's not politically aligned or I don't have an element to it. But my end goal is I want to bring joy. I want to bring happiness. I want to bring wonder. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. It's your messaging, I bet you it resonates with a lot of people out there who are, people just want to add value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So talk to me about your background, bro.
Okay. Awesome. So I would say I've been an artist all my life. I went to school because of art, primary school, high school, and even the uni. So I graduated. I have a degree in arts, in design from Nairobi University. It's a bit different there as compared to other universities that we have. So for me, in my opinion, art is not really, it's not really carried like a subject, as a topic, as something that you would venture in for the rest of your life. Everybody just wants to be the doctor. Everybody wants to be the teacher. Everybody wants to be the person of. But you see, art is, I've practiced art all my life in all the engagements that I've done. In my writing, in my business ventures, in the events that I've done, everything has to be artistic for me. So it's a way of life for me.
I like what you said.
Yeah.
Most people actually, in terms of education in uni, people study something that's more, what's the word? That's more predictable.
Yeah.
You can predict the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for example, if education, you just know you're definitely going to be a teacher. But for an artist, you never know what's coming up.
No.
And I guess also it's a very fulfilling thing, but it's also, to me, it's the call to adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it scary when you decided to study art?
I like that. So not really.
Yeah.
And okay, my background.
When I say scary, like basically, like for example, you didn't know what's going to play out in future.
I didn't know. Like my life has panned out in a series of adventures. So you see, it's my dad who introduced me to art. He passed when I was 4 years. But
RP.
That's like a bold memory that I have of him. And I've always seen art as that little cave that I can go disappear in. And I never honestly thought that I would be doing art where I am, because I've tried so many things. Like my immediate recent career was, I was a writer in the traditional sense. Go look for information, research on it, put it all together and present it in a manner that somebody who's not read all these things can understand, break it down for them. So that helped me in a sense to travel the world. Then came AI, and now nobody wants content anymore. Nobody wants like you to go, they can do that in a click of buttons. So I just found myself going back to, what else can I do? Because I can't go back to school. Virtually there's no job. Nobody is willing to hire you and your expertise unless maybe you have those papers. So I was like, hey, because this is 10 years after all that. So let me go back to paint. Let me see what I can do. Then, boom. I'm just finding myself every day I feel it has come to me at a time when I'm ready to just speak.
And how's that journey been? All through the years.
Art journey?
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. The reason why it's interesting is because now I can meet different cultures. I can talk to different people with different mindsets. And I'm free. Like, I don't need to limit myself to a concept or what I want to present. Like, I can literally wake up and paint or not. And whatever inspires me, I just find a way of putting them together. Well, definitely over the years, I've picked up a few skills here and there, and especially if you can see the signature style that I use. So being different for me is an inspiration, because I don't need to do what somebody else is doing, but I just have to keep on reinventing myself. So the solution lies within for me. So that's exciting. Yeah.
The art piece behind you, and I know most guys who are actually watching us, remember you can always stream live on www.spicefm.co.ke. We're also live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Beautiful stuff.
Thank you.
You know, my wifey, when she saw your work on IG, she was like, Kevin, you have to get this guy. And I was like, B, I know that guy. That's Lee. I've spoken with him when when I used to do the drive show on Spice FM. And Lee, you're very talented. You've got a massive following, and it's still growing.
Yeah.
How would you describe what we are seeing right there? The piece that we're seeing. I know it's a lady who's got cornrows.
Yeah.
What do you see that I'm not seeing?
Okay, so my style is called like ethereal wheels. Basically, it's from the imagination. It's from a world that it's different. Like, it's relatable, but then it's not, because you see the skin is blue, the marks on the skin and all that.
Right.
So this piece was a silent statement. The model is, they're not really interested in looking at you because they have so much confidence in themselves. Like, you know what? I believe in myself. Look at me. And you can look at the gold earring, like you can see that's a statement. Like, you know, hey,
right.
I'm okay, right, by myself.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I like playing with nature and natural motifs.
Yeah.
And you know what they say about, like, when butterflies follow you around and all that. So for me, it was like the butterflies are forming a halo. Like, she's holy, she's divine, she's confident. Like, hey, this is the person you need to be attracted to. This is the person that know themselves. So this particular piece, it's called Aurelia.
Aurelia.
So Aurelia just stands for that inner self-confidence that you can achieve from just believing in yourself. So such are my themes mostly. Inspire, drive self-belief, and be different. Like, hey, don't listen to the noise, listen to the noise within you.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
When you engage with the Kenyans, you know, just on your day-to-day shugulis, you know, you're out here doing your thing, and people walk past you, for example.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you notice to be like a masterpiece, but you're thinking, oh my God, how is it that Kenyans are just not noticing these things that I'm seeing? What are you seeing in your everyday experiences that we don't see and you think they're actually masterpieces? Yeah,
so that's an interesting question. People from my country, Kenya, are way creative. Like, from the way they just put on their outfit, well, if you know where to look for, and in just how they carry themselves. Like, we have a culture that you can instantly notice that's Kenyan. And it's not in the way they behave or the way they put on that, but we have this drive as Kenyans that we are so adventurous, and we can turn a moment into excitement. Like, a bunch of friends don't need to, like, I remember when I was growing up, there was a joint, like, we need to go to this place to have fun and all that, but that has changed immensely. Now you find people getting together by just, they want to read a book, or they want to play a game, or they want to have like a themed party. These are exciting stuff that go unnoticed. And if you know where to look for your culture, the art cultures, different exciting things. This is the country for me where you can find pretty much everything that you want to look at. Well, not mentioning our beautiful land and the nature and all that. So, yeah.
How do you train your eye to see these things?
Okay, another good question. For me, is just basically slow down. By slowing down is learn to put your phone down.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I know we are into the social media, like, you want to check what's the trend, what's happening, what's the news and all that.
Right.
But imagine way back, like in the 90s, no internet, no phone, no nothing. What did you used to do for fun?
Storytell.
Yeah.
You know, visit random places.
Yes. Yeah. Now you would find somebody probably staying in along Kiambu Road, and they've never been to Karura because, it's boring to them. It's boring to what the trend says, but there's so much that you can get from just posing, noticing the color of the flower petals. Like, do you have birds around where you stay? Or you have the bikes that are making noise that are distracting you from actually creating, just finding time to rest. So there are little things that makes us restless. For me, one of them is just plugging on to your machine. Utilize more of your hands. The coordination, eye-hand coordination is very, very important when just to boost your, I would call happiness. Yeah, boost your mood. So the little things that we overlook, where the color of the sun in the morning, the color of the sun in the evening. So for me, I would be like, the more we do that, because we are so blessed to have them. There are many places around the world that they don't even have that. So for me, that's the key. That's the one thing that you can just make it a philosophy, something like that.
I love how you put it, the eye-hand coordination.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. But also you mentioned something so profound. Social media.
Yeah.
It's almost as if it's making us less curious. Are you worried about future generations with regards to art, right?
Yeah.
Because I know there are many people who are listening to you right now, many young folks, and they're saying, I want to do whatever Lee's doing, you know. But are you worried for them? Because obviously they're on their phones too much.
Yeah, it's a worrying trend. Like, it has never boosted creativity, in my opinion. Like, the solution doesn't lie there. There's so much pressure when you go online. I'd want to be like this person. I'd want to achieve like this person. And now I'm glad that there's a growing consensus that most of the social media is fake and the pressure needs to be weighed down. But you see, it starts with the influencers that we have around, the influencers that we follow. I believe that some trends grow on coping and all that, but it's okay. I mean, it's how you look at it. For me, art, how to advance art is through learning from your masters, not necessarily the people with the degrees and all that. You could randomly just take a walk to an art center or go by the side of the road, that person who's making the chairs and tables and all that. Watch what they do. Like, it's research. It's still learning. So there are a lot of people who are still doing art for the sake of art. So when you combine that with the research that you can do, social media comes to an extent. It can also help if you know how to channel your algorithms or who you follow or the trends you want to follow. You can reinvent trends and then you become yourself. So it's bittersweet. It's okay and it's not. All depends with what you want to do.
I love it. it. And when is the last time you got inspired by something so unexpected out here?
You mean
and what was it that really inspired you? Like, what, I have to draw this thing. It inspired you to do something else, and of course you put it at you expressed it on your pieces.
Yeah.
What was this thing that inspired you?
So for me, most of my inspiration, like, I start from the point of when I like taking those walks, like those nature walks, just doing random things like looking at flowers or the sunset or the sunrise. So my last painting that I did, I remember I did berries. Berries was like, it was like the central idea that I saw these unique, peculiar berries that I've never seen before, blue ones. So for me, that was like, this is unique, this is different. Nobody would see this and it's just within the compound. I've never seen anybody even post this on social media. So I was like, let me convert this to a message, to a world where there is more of blues. So that's how I start my thought process. I'm definitely inspired by the landscape that I'm in, the things that I interact with every day. So that's very important. So I try as much as possible to blow up the little things that, like you say, the little things you don't know. Who has the time to go to the garden and look at blueberries? I mean, I need to check what's the time. I need to go to work. I need to report this assignment that I did. Like, there's so much happening around. You don't have the time to go and so for me it's a blessing that I could just project the little things that people miss on my canvas.
I love it. When people engage with your work, when they view your work, when there's a moment of silence and you can tell guys are going deep, what do you hope they feel? Interesting.
So I like when I have a workout and then somebody tells me that's a beautiful art piece. So for me, I've gotten people tell me that it speaks to me. They said it reminds me of my friend. It reminds me of a memory I had as a child. I connect with this work because I love the colors, I love your style, I love the composition and all that. And I feel like when I put this on my wall, it brings me calm, or it brings me inspiration. And I've gotten a lot of people who say, you know what, you've inspired me to go back and make art. And art is therapy. Just taking paint and putting on a blank surface, I mean, that's scientifically proven. That's therapy. I believe that is what makes us even better. That's what drives us to be, I would say, creative. Even in our workplaces. And then you get a position where you're not dull for the rest of the day, but you're excited and you're filled with energy to just go on despite whatever is happening around.
While you're speaking, I'm trying to compose my words. I'm trying to really phrase the next question visually. So art can be very emotional. It can trigger a bunch of emotions. For people who are passionate about good art, like the work that you do.
Thank you.
Has there ever been a piece of work that you've done that got you so emotional, back you're like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm feeling? And why did you feel what you felt?
Okay, for me, I honestly, I feel that like every time I work on a new piece, like, because I have to hand draw the small circles bit by bit. So it's definitely, it's a journey that I'm not 100% sure I would complete. By that I mean cover each inch of the skin with my process and technique. So I feel emotional every time I do that. It takes a toll literally on my body, and it's a lot of work. But for me, it's the sacrifice to create that, because I'm looking forward to, like you said, the reaction, the emotion. Like, how will my work inspire somebody else? How will my process trigger a chain reaction? And somebody down the line says, you know what, I have discovered something in me through looking at your work or through watching your work. So for me, that's the purpose. That's my goal So it's a lot of emotions when working on it. And then, of course, the reward comes when somebody uploads your work or gives you a comment that helps you improve on to the next one. So, I would say basically all the time I'm working.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, guys. We're hanging out with a very talented Lee Amimo. He's a visual artist. And we're talking all things the artist's eye. Some of the things we miss in everyday life. And if you can watch this conversation on our stream, there's a beautiful piece just behind Amimo. And it's outstanding. One thing I've gotten from your description of this piece is that this is a lady who doesn't need us. She doesn't need our validation. She knows what she's about. You know, she's got a halo behind her in the form of butterflies, right? She's focused. She likes to stand out.
She's bougie.
She's very bougie, exactly. And I like the whole gold, the gold earring. You know, and I feel like I've actually met a bunch of women like this in Kenya.
Yes.
Who are so proud of their Africanicity.
Yeah.
And they rock their natural cornrows. It's amazing. To me, it just feels it symbolizes the African woman, the very proud African woman who doesn't need anyone's validation.
Yeah.
And I like that. Let's come back and further this conversation. Right now, I've got some Raphael Sadiq and D'Angelo. It's called Be Here. Remember, this is #Culture Kitchen with Kev, your local energy provider.